Hello, how are you? Today I'm going to talk to you about vitamin K2 and its anti-aging role. Many people want to know more about the role of vitamin K2 in our bodies regarding bones, the heart, and the brain, because it is being used more and more, especially if you already take vitamin D. You're going to love this video. Stay until the end, you won't want to miss it. If you love tips on nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Remember to turn on the notification bell to get updates. I have new videos every day. You're going to love them. Remember that there are two types of vitamin K. I've already made a video here on the channel talking about K1, which is closely related to blood clotting and is mostly found in dark green leafy vegetables. I have a video talking about it, and now I'm going to talk about vitamin K2 and all its health benefits. Let me know if you already take vitamin K, if you take vitamin K2, and why you take it. I'd love to see your comment. Unlike vitamin K1, which is usually found in dark green leafy vegetables, vitamin K2 is much more associated with animal-based products and fermented foods. In fact, one of its main sources is fermented soy, which we're not really used to consuming in our daily lives. It can also be produced through fermentation in our own bodies, thanks to some of the good bacteria we have. So, getting a sufficient amount of vitamin K2 from your regular daily diet can indeed be a bit more challenging. That's precisely why many people often choose to supplement it, in order to make sure they have adequate and optimal levels according to their specific and individual needs. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that if you have any doubts about whether you need to supplement with K2 or not, it's important to get a blood test to check. Always do this with the guidance of your doctor and nutritionist in your city. Remember, this video is for informational purposes only. Vitamin K2, unlike vitamin K1, plays a very important role in calcium metabolism. As I mentioned, vitamin K1, the traditional vitamin K we learn about in school, is closely related to blood clotting. And vitamin K2 is closely related to the calcification processes in our body. So why does it have this anti-aging role? Because in fact, since it is so closely linked to calcium metabolism in our body, it can play a very important part in this process and as a result, can greatly help improving different aspects of aging. You'll see when I explain how calcium metabolism can either harm or improve our aging process. Because God willing, everyone will get old, and we need to reach old age with a healthy body, functioning as well as possible. One of the main complaints and problems that many people have in old age, especially women, is related to osteopenia and osteoporosis, which is basically a lack of calcium, let's put it that way. It's the decrease in the amount of calcium in your bones, in the actual strength of your bones. Calcium helps make bones stronger. And studies have already shown that vitamin K2 can help you achieve greater calcification of bone tissue. So, if you are someone who tends to have osteopenia or osteoporosis, it may be that K2 supplementation is recommended in your case. Vitamin K2 can also help you in the aging process by improving cardiovascular health. Because, as I mentioned, it is a vitamin that takes the calcium available in your bloodstream and directs it to bone tissue, to hard tissues. And it will prevent calcium from remaining in soft tissues, that is mainly in the veins and arteries. So we don't want calcium to stay there. We don't want arterial calcification. We don't want atherosclerosis. So by directing calcium to where it should be, which is in the bone, we avoid these cardiovascular problems for some people as well, which definitely helps in the aging process. In fact, I even have a video here on the channel talking more about one of the main symptoms of vitamin D overdose in our body, which is related to this arterial calcification, to atherosclerosis. So that's why I say, if you're someone who takes vitamin D, it's very important that you talk to your nutritionist or your doctor and check with them if you need to take K2 as well, because this will greatly minimize the risks of you having any kind of calcium buildup in soft tissues over time. Remember that this video is purely informational, and if you have any questions about this, always talk to your trusted professional in your city. Some studies have also found that vitamin K2 may help prevent oxidative stress and can aid in lipid metabolism for brain cells. So of course, it's very important for us to age while keeping our brains functioning well, and vitamin K2 may play a very interesting role in this neurological aspect as well. This is another very interesting point. Still talking about aging, we can't avoid mentioning dental problems. As people get older, it's very common, often due to bone loss and the body's difficulty in directing calcium properly. It's much easier for the teeth to become weaker. As a result, many older people tend to lose their teeth. Sometimes it's due to a fracture. Maybe they eat a harder food, the tooth breaks because it's weaker, or it could be due to other related issues. So, since it's a vitamin that directs more calcium to hard tissues, I've already mentioned bones, but teeth are also tissues that need a lot of calcium. This is supported by the consumption of vitamin K and can help with maintaining teeth during old age, which is extremely important. Because when we talk about teeth, many people think about the aesthetic side, having a beautiful white smile and so on. But teeth are very important for chewing, which helps prevent problems like gastritis and issues with digesting food. We need to chew our food properly before swallowing so that the digestive process goes smoothly. So, keeping a healthy mouth with your teeth is not just a matter of aesthetics, it's a matter of health as well. And another important point, especially when talking about the elderly, is that this helps prevent possible choking and other problems that older people may have due to poor chewing. So that's another interesting point. Nowadays, it's increasingly important for us to think about the synergistic effect of the vitamins and minerals we consume on a daily basis. That's why nowadays it's much more common when you go to the doctor with a vitamin D deficiency or with osteoporosis or osteopenia, instead of just prescribing you vitamin D and calcium supplements, for example, they will often also prescribe magnesium and vitamin K2 supplements because these will help not only to increase the amount of circulating calcium in your body, but also improve the fixation of this calcium in the hard tissues where you need it, and prevent this calcium from being deposited in soft tissues, like the arteries, as I mentioned before. So, it's extremely important that we always maintain this synergy, and of course that you always see a doctor or a nutritionist, get your blood tests done, and check whether or not you actually need to take these supplements. An interesting point for us to mention as well is the amount you should supplement, if necessary. Of course, it will depend on whether you are a man or a woman, and there is vitamin K1 and vitamin K2. So it's not just about supplementing with vitamin K in general. The ideal is that you specifically supplement with vitamin K2. And this amount can vary from 75 to 120 micrograms, depending on whether you are a man or a woman, if you are already deficient, or if you already consume foods that are sources of it. That's why it's always important for you to consult a professional in your city, someone who knows you personally, to help you with the correct dosage. Let me know down below if you had already heard about vitamin K2, if you knew about its important role, or if you have ever taken supplements. I would love to see your comment. Remember to like the video, as that really helps me, and share it with anyone who might enjoy it or needs it. Let's work together to expand this chain of good, because that's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.